Thanks, Coach. Well, both teams were hoping the rain would vacate the Green Bay area by kick, but alas, it's still falling pretty steadily in and around Lambeau Field. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Oakland Raiders. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Right now, lady. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Your mind. Switch it. Switch it. Switch it. Come here. Switch it. White Monday down. 29. 29. 44.
On first down, Carr. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Dean Lowry just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they get after them early.
To try again after the sack. Carr, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On third and long, it's Carr. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He's got a man, complete. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. That one goes for 36 yards. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. To throw, it's Carr. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 30. First 9 seasons in the league for Brown were, of course, in Pittsburgh. Last year, though, growing concerns of his dissatisfaction in his role with the Steelers and the quibbles with Ben Roethlisberger. So he ends up being traded to the Raiders in March. 7-time Pro Bowler, 6 straight years of at least 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. Not a bad stretch. What a talent for Derek Carr to have on his side. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. From the gun, it's Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. And into the red zone now. And Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
No gain on the play there, second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this is Carr. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. 4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. This is the former Jet and Brown, Isaiah Crowell. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. To throw is Rodgers. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
He's got the tight end, Sternberger. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 24 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. This is Crowell. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 45 on second down, Rodgers being chased out left. He's going to look deep for more, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
And he's got his target. That's more. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. They'll try and run for it with Crowell. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal.
A pickup of 2 brings up second and goal at the 6-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they come up now second and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. To throw, it's Rodgers. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would be?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
He's coming, double up.
Shotgun now for Carr. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Carr. Over the middle here to Brown. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. On 2nd down, it's Jacobs, and he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, now Carr. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Man open left side, it's Williams. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Down. 185. 44. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Slant cut.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Caught out right by Renfro. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They begin with a run by Corral. And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Rodgers. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. To the tight end and complete. It's Sternberger over the middle. Now they go with a slant that time, 15 yards at a 1st down.
They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up 1st down, too.
A 1st down carry now for Crowell. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. A 1st first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 45-yard line.
54. All day, baby. All day, all day, all day.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Johnson the intended target, but now it'll be 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. They go back to the ground now with Crowell. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
Brings up 3rd down and 5.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down.
Over. Check out.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense at the line, ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Hey, alert 3.
Throwing now is Carr. And the ball is knocked out. And the Packers pick it up. And some room to work. There he goes left side. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
To throw his Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
After the sack on first down, Carr, throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Raiders on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Carr. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing again to Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Throwing now is Rodgers. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. They were looking for Johnson that time. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The final shot here before half for Carr. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On play action, now Rodgers. Open on the left side, this is Valdez-Scantling. That one good for 26 and a first down. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Once again, it's Jacobs. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Carr. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a 1st down with a cherry on top, 31 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Running is Jacobs. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
We're good. 180. 694. Check nickel.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Blake Martinez, the NFC's leading tackler a year ago, in on the stop. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Carr going to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Preston Smith comes in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack. Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. The product of Jersey City, Tahir Whitehead on the sack. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Throw to the right. He's got the tight end here, Sternberger. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. Crowell. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big...
And the Raiders have got him.
Like how they started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the 1st drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. To throw is Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And he finds a man on the crossing route. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jacobs. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check out.
Now Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That's taken on the 25. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Again, it's Crowell. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
No gain on the play. It's now 3rd and 4.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line.
Let's go!
At their own 38-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end, and he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 15 yards on the play, first down.
First down, Raiders.
Carr now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's taken down inside the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Throwing on first down is Carr. He's going to let it go deep, and this is going to be intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. Darren Waller, the intended receiver.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Let's go, baby.
It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A give to Williams, running right. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers finding some room at midfield. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 37. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
They'll run on 1st down. Crowell, and he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 19. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it. And make
nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29. A safety with a sack there. LaMarcus Joyner.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Let's see what you got. Hey, Raider 2. 91 is the mark. Watch the run, watch the run.
Throwing again. Carr. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
The Raiders do snap it. It's Carr. And that is incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position.
Between 18, 54 miles. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Between 18.
On 1st down, Crowell. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's McKissick. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Drop deep, drop deep.
Williams. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
Hey, take 26. 55's mark, guys, 55. Hey, let's get in them holes.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Looking for the end zone. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Jonathan Abram, the rookie from Mississippi State. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the 1st down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw again. Carr. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw is Carr. His throw incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Carr going to go on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch time, watch time. Tight end, watch time.
They'll run with Crowell. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. On the jet sweep, this is Johnson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. To throw is Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 18-yard line.
Green 18. 56. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire 2nd half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the 2nd half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for Green Bay, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Oakland, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.